Hi, guys.
Yes.
So
Hey,
nice
what's
to
up?
see you. What's going on?
I
All right.
enjoyed your
Thanks for having
dramedy.
us.
I loved your dramedy, man. Josh, you're such a talented filmmaker. Drop everything else and continue making films.
Thanks, Adam.
Is this your?
I might.
You should.
It's the second. Well, I co-directed a documentary that is nice. It's the second narrative feature that I count.
I know
This
because
is the second narrative feature you count? So the other one was ours also?
What's that? Yes,
Yeah.
it is. The one in between, I'm not going to count.
That means I'm attached to both of them.
It's true.
It's
true.
Well, I remember the earlier one because the lie because we did a Q&A many years. That's how I met you originally. But anyway, it's not about that. This is about fully realized humans, and it's going to have a screening. This isn't the premiere, is it?
No, this isn't the premiere, but because of COVID screenings and how that's affected so many festivals and kind of the restrictions that we've requested, so it doesn't just get put on the internet willy-nilly. I think it will be the third festival that it has played live at, and it's actually really exciting. I wish Jess was here, but I happen to be up in the Hudson Valley with my family right now. And so we're going to be at the Woodstock screening. Ross Partridge and Jen LaFleur, who are in the film, are going to be here as well.
They live in Los Angeles, don't they?
They do. But Ross has family out here.
So does Jennifer.
The floor's getting done. Ross has family out here. Pedro Segundo, who does all the drumming in the film, all the live improvised drumming that we use for the score, he's coming up from the city for the screening. So it's gonna be the closest thing that we will have had to an actual film festival screening where we get to represent the film.
I'll just sit on my own and watch more kitten videos and hope there's a new episode of British Bake Off coming out to deal with the FOMO. With everybody hanging out in the woods watching our movie.
There's no more fun. We're in a post-FOMO landscape because nobody's at anything. Except that it's restarted on Saturday. Is it this Friday night?
Friday night is the Woodstock screening.
Yeah.
And it's also one of my favorite regional festivals. I've been there several times over the years, and so it should be fun and exciting. And I wish you were here, Jess.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm gonna be there too.
Are you gonna be there?
Now everybody's gonna be there.
I feel terrible. I wasn't gonna say it because I didn't want Jess to feel even more left.
And you know what's really strange is Jess's very young daughter Beatrice and her husband Hamish are also going to be there. Both her parents are going to be there.
What a little bitch! Can't believe it.
Your junior high crush is going to be there.
Oh, Travis.
Of course, it's Travis.
Travis has been at every screening so far.
Oh, so it sounds like he hasn't gotten over Jess either.
Well, at least it's mutual.
Turned bright red, by the way. So.
Yeah. See, it's still you put me in a place of FOMO and take me back to middle school. Yeah. And I'll turn into a tiny tomato.
Jess gets pretty red every time we talk about Travis.
Now, when I was here last year at the Woodstock Film Festival, I also, my son was with me, my 16, at the time 15-year-old, now 16, he's coming with me because I got a car, so I may as well fill it with all my children, my one children. But last year I took him to see, we were at Ben Kasulka's film, Banana Split, and and he was there. Yeah, and we had a great time, and my son really loved the movie.
It's a great movie. How old? Your son's 16, right?
Yeah, he's going to love this movie too.
Perfect.
Yeah, Ben is a very talented director. I felt very lucky to coerce him back into DPing our film after he'd gone out and become a big time director.
I want to say
we really nabbed him on the whole "it's only going to be 7 days" thing.
Sorry about that. I think that you guys are all, because of these connections of Ross and Jennifer, who are play supporting roles in this film, and we should say what it's about in a minute. But I want to say it's all sort of these part of, in a beautiful way, part of the Shelton universe. You know, I don't know. I thought of that.
That is, I met Ben Kasulke through Lynn Shelton. I met Jess while we were on the festival circuit with Hump Day. So yeah, I think it's very true. I think a lot of dear relationships formed out of that movie and that community.
Yeah. So I mean, and then you're dealing with, you know, emotional relationships. Your film is about, it's called Fully Realized Humans, and it is about a couple on the verge of having their first baby. And of course, for anybody who's done that before, and there might be a few of you out there, it's a big deal. It's everything becomes real, really real when you bring a person into the world. And I think, you know, this couple is definitely coming to that understanding.
Yeah, we really take great expectations to the extreme. We have very high expectations for ourselves to be good parents, or the desire to be better parents than our characters felt like our parents were to us, and how messed up we are from different things about the way we were raised, and hoping that we don't pass it on, but inevitably,
right,
we probably will.
That's the inevitable. That's kind of the difficult part of parenting. But it's a matter of how you manage that. Go ahead, Josh.
Well, I was just going to say, for me, it's always a matter of can I manage to fuck up in a different way than I fucked up in the past, or than my parents fucked up on me? Can I at least fuck up differently with my own kid and not make the exact same mistakes? You know, and knowing that human fallibility, especially in our most intimate relationships, is so much a part of you know, what makes us people and not gods. And the older I get, the more, you know, I think the onus is on you when you have a kid, or at least on me. I really felt the pressure to that existential terror of, you know, will I be good enough? Can I be good enough? Can I like really participate in, you know, shaping a human mind and morality? And can I keep this person safe? And do I have the, you know, the tools and the spiritual centeredness? And I was a fairly new parent at the time that I had the idea for this film. Jess was 6 months pregnant at the time, and I was, you know, I was in a funk, kind of struggling with some of these bigger questions, and I called Jess and said, "Do you want to make a movie in 2 months when you're 8 months pregnant? We'll do it really quickly." And you know, because I knew that she was grappling with some of the same stuff, about to be a first-time parent herself. And
you know, it's occurring to me, Josh, I think you brought it up actually when I was like 2 months pregnant, like, hey, we should make a film. And then when you brought it up again at like 6 months pregnant, I was like, he's not kidding. He actually
that may be true. It's still a much better story if it just came up at 6 months.
Yeah. So then we had 2 months to actually figure out what the story was gonna be, and make it.
And then it was a matter of calling friends.
It really was. It was almost everybody who collaborated on the film with us was a friend in some form. Erica Chitty Cohen, who plays our doula, kind of de facto therapist in the movie, was actually Allison and my doula in real life. Erica helped deliver my own daughter. Wow. So that's how we found her. We went through different people. We're like, who can improvise being a doula? And we came to probably a doula.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't always work once you turn on the camera.
Yeah, but any of those actors who weren't doulas, they were just going to be making stuff up about how to give birth. We couldn't have that. We couldn't put just some actor in there to
right. That's true. And then you didn't really have
make believe.
Right. You didn't have tons of time to do
Ross and Jen and Janixa Bravo, who is an old friend as well, who's
on here before too.
Wickedly talented writer, director, actor. Lemon and her new one, which I haven't seen yet, which I just hear is incredible. Yeah, Zach Shields, who punches me in the face.
Have we said yet on this call that that it was improv? That we did the.
I know, but I was getting. It just seems like the penultimate scene, or is it the last scene? The whole section with the parents. Because ultimately, as we've been saying, this is about coming to terms with mistakes parents have made and not wanting to repeat them. And you invite your parents, who we already get information throughout the film, are difficult people, perhaps complicated relationships exist here. You invite them together to sit in your living room for a confrontation.
An intervention.
/ intervention. And you really, I was like, when did he write this scene? Because you guys really went deep, and I found myself all teary-eyed. I mean, I don't mean to make light of it. I did get emotional. I thought there were some really powerful moments that, with the, I think I was planning to write down the actors' names of the played parents, but.
It was Tom Bauer and Michael Chieffo and Beth Grant.
Michael plays,
my dad.
You're
Jess's
right.
dad.
So okay. And
Jess's single father, yes.
Okay, right. Who was struggling with addiction. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And your father was just angry.
He was an old, yeah, an old.
And your mother was an enabler.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, which was, there was some thin veiling going on in those relationships. Obviously, they were, played up for comedic form, but there was definitely, Jess and I both got to work out some of our own stuff in that movie.
Yeah, and we kind of knew what we wanted to get to in those scenes, but with that many suddenly new people in the room, Josh and I had really hit a stride with each other, sort of knowing how to repeat the things that we were finding to make it all match up and to shoot it all. But with that many people in the room, it was a lot of hashing it out.
It was a lot of hashing it out, and then I will also say it was a solid 2.5 months in the editing room, getting that scene in the shape that it was. And when I say scene, that confrontation and the ebbs and flows of that conversation are really the third act of the movie. So it's kind of a scene that was also an act. So yeah, it was, but we had really talented people, and like a lot of these movies, so much of what the scene was about was just actors sitting down and at the beginning of the day and talking about our own experiences and finding those seeds of truth that, you know, both revealing the seeds of truth in ourselves and finding the seeds of truth in the other actors that, you know, we could then play with when the camera started rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes, you know, it takes a lot of trust. And I always feel like, you know, even if people are giving me you know, different versions of their own truth or hyperbolized versions, I always find it an honor when you know, anybody brings a piece of themselves to a role. And I really think that, you know, with so many of the actors in this movie, that's what gave it the weight that I was hoping for, even though it's not a there's a lot of stupid dick jokes in the movie too, but underneath that is some real emotional honesty that I think came as a result of you know, actors trusting other actors.
Yeah, it's very well said. And since Josh and I have known each other for over a decade now, even though this thing was like, oh, it just came together in 2 months, it really is 10 years in the making on our dynamic, and
It's true.
and knowing how we can
push each other's
at
buttons.
each other and drive each other crazy.
Where'd you guys meet?
Huh?
How did you guys meet?
Oh, we
in
met,
real life?
Either one.
It's cheesy. It's Sundance. We met at Sundance when he was doing Hump Day, and I was there with Teeth, and we were like, "You're pretty cool. Let's work together someday." And that someday, I think, was like the next, like 6 months later or something. We did the lie, or a year later, we did the lie.
It was pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah. And then sort of always said we wanted to work together again, but just continued.
I think and I think there's another. I think there's a trilogy here because these films kind of.
We have something in the works. Jess and I will work together again.
Oh, getting a scoop here potentially.
Potential scoop. That's all we can say.
Well, I'm going to hold you to it, so it's more than a scoop. You know, I can. You know, if you say it, it will be something like that.
I feel good about that.
That's destiny, guys.
Yeah. So Jess, you're in LA.
I am in LA, it's a bummer that Josh is upstate New York, and is it upstate New York? Would you consider it upstate
Valley? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in the Hudson Valley too. I think we're pretty close.
Yeah.
I think we're geographically pretty close.
We are.
I have a lot of jealousy because it seems like fall is happening there and it's getting cool, and we're about to hit another heat wave.
Yeah, I know.
And the fires are still burning. I mean, it's all a little overwhelming. That looks refreshing, Josh. The trees.
Really.
Can you? This is my tree.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Adam, your tree is amazing. Do you see the
wait a minute.
billions of trees that Josh
That's across me?
bragging about?
Wait a minute. I got to go outside.
Look at him.
I can see your pasture and raise you a cherry farm. I'm actually just minutes from the Claremont State Park on the Hudson. Hold on. I'm going to put this in the car.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
just
guys, I've got like 10 more minutes. Are there other things we want to talk about?
Well, we can talk about last night's debate. Oh wait, no, never mind.
None of that.
Hold on. No.
I do want to throw in briefly, just on our film, that that shooting 8 months pregnant is awesome, and I recommend for everybody to do it. I think everybody should give it a try. We've said this in other things, but I right before I kissed Josh at the fountain, I vomited.
And like there were just all kinds of treasures that came with shooting 8 months pregnant.
Birth.
Not
It
to
is
give her-
a fully realized humans. It's a good title. It hits the nail on the head in the sense that that's what we're all hopefully striving for, especially when we get to be parents. It's good to kind of have worked out most of your BS or wounds or those existential wounds or what have you.
But I also think I also think I mean, to me, there's some irony in the title, because that's stupid. You're never going to become a fully realized human. It is really, you know, the victory is Pyrrhic, because, you know, that there's no such thing. And that Jess and I, you know, part of, I think you get so much built in. The stakes of the movie are so high right off the bat when somebody is 8 months pregnant, especially in real life. You're like, oh wow, something is really happening to that human body, and you know that this couple is about to confront thing, and so I think, especially for a little independent film, we rolled a lot of production value and movie stakes up into Jess's pregnant belly, and I just, you know, we
But yeah, that
talked a lot.
prosthetic would have cost like what?
It was a really astonishing prosthetic.
It would have cost so much.
But Jess and I talked a lot about the mission of the movie being these two people kind of drinking their own Kool-Aid a bit, and going on a mission to either become the best parents who have ever existed on the planet Earth, or potentially wind up in a mental institution with their future child coming to visit them.
Right. Well, I think by the end of it, you end up better children anyway, parents.
Sure.
Because you
I think so.
there's so
Yeah,
much
we actually
forgiveness.
faced our fear.
That's what's the beautiful moment, is when you kind of forgave the parents, then that they were, I don't know, you got to see the scene. If you're watching out there, please see the film fully, because that scene, there was so much, I don't know, you say it was done in the edit room. I don't quite believe that, but I think that there's such real performances there, very authentic moments. And
I don't mean the authenticity was created in the edit room. I mean we would shoot hour-long takes. We shot probably 4 hour-long takes.
Oh,
and so it's like a choose your own adventure to try to put it together,
right,
in its own structure with its ebbs and its flows.
okay.
So I don't mean the emotion was manufactured in the edit room. I mean the shape.
You can't do that. I mean, anyway, so we know that. I mean, probably not, unless you, yeah, it's beside the point. So you had a moving along. It's there. That's all that matters, and I loved it, and that's why I invited you guys on. And you can see it if you're anywhere near the Hudson Valley. It's at the Greenville Drive-In on Friday, October 2nd. And it's following Bitter Feast, or the other way around. I'm not sure.
It's before Bitter Feast, but after Baby Kate.
Baby Kate, which is Jennifer LaFleur's short.
Exactly, which is really cool.
I did my homework, and
I have a pitch for the movie. If you like Step Brothers, you'll probably also like this.
There's that element too. Yes, body
As we were
fluid.
making it, I was like, I feel like we're making Step Brothers.
If you like Step Brothers, but you wish there was a little bit more risque and potentially disturbing sex in the movie, between those brothers,
yes,
then you might like our movie.
There's a lot of body fluids either in it or discussed in it, and the baby hasn't even been born yet. So that, right?
Yeah,
it's
very true. It's very true.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I think we gave the details. You can go to the Woodstock Film Festival.org to buy tickets. And come on Friday. I'll be there. My son Jacob will be there.
I'm really interested to see what your son Jacob thinks of this movie, because I imagine he more directly understands the world of, it's Banana Splits, right? That was Ben Kasulki's film?
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
no, we watched quite a few things. Yeah, no, this will be in his wheelhouse or whatever. And
It
his
will?
mother, I mentioned it. Sorry.
No, just awesome. Awesome that this would be in his wheelhouse.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, Adam. Thank you for doing this.